Salut, je m'appelle Sarah Myra. J'ai été avec la compagnie pour 14 ans. J'étais soloiste. I think I always danced. I remember moving the couches in either my friend's house or our house and just having a section on the carpet and we would dance. And I was about 6 years old and the teacher said, you know, in order for her to be a good jazz dancer, she has to take ballet too. And I really did not want to do it. So at 10, I decided to take ballet. And with positive reinforcement, of course, he started to like it. And by 12, I was hooked. And it wasn't really until I saw Eltenia Muratova. She was a Russian ballerina with the Kirov Mariinsky Ballet at the time. And they came to Toronto and they did a performance of La Bayadère. And I was mesmerized by her. She was so poetically captivating and I believed what she was telling and I just thought I want to do that. I want to tell stories. So my dad saw that I was getting really interested in dance, in ballet, so he looked up in the Yellow Pages a Russian ballet studio in Toronto and I started dancing with this teacher. Her name is Nadia Tenser, she still teaches. And I owe a lot to her, and she taught a lot about not only technique, but about how you move your body. And in Vaganova method, it's very much épaulement, and everything is very coordinated, head and legs and arms, and I loved it. And there was one thing that she said that really stuck with me my entire career, and she said, when you move your hands, it has to be in an honest way, and you have to think of it like a blind person touches somebody or touches something. It feels what that person is because it can't see it. So it really made sense to me to feel with my hands through my body, out through my hands and in my arms, and everything else, of course, to make a story, to pull the audience in, to have them believe what I'm saying for the moment, what the idea of the dance would be. It made sense to me. Even at 12 years old, that's what I wanted to do, tell stories with my body. So before joining l'Écran Ballet Canadien, I was dancing in Budapest, Hungary for 7 years. Big opera house. I did all of the classical ballets you can think of. And I was trying my entire career, or my entire first part of my career, to fit into this box. And I always had an eye for something else outside of this box. And I had known Les Grands Ballets Canadiens for several years. They toured in Europe, and it was really intriguing company what they were doing and all the different creative works they were performing. And I wanted to experience that. I wanted to change what I was dancing because after you do all the classical ballets, it becomes the same in a way. And so I took a leap of faith and we were dancing, coincidentally, Bayadère at Hungarian National Ballet. And there was an audition in Montreal. I took a flight, 48 hours, took the audition, had the interview with Gradimir, and he said, "Are you really sure this is what you want to do?" And he made me watch -1. They were having rehearsals, and I was blown away. And I told him, absolutely yes. And he gave me a chance, and I'm so grateful. So when I first joined the company in 2010, in the summer we were working on Mauro Bigonzetti's Four Seasons and Cantata. It was amazing. There was so much information being thrown at you and everything was so visceral and so real, and it really was what I wanted to do. It was eye-opening in every sense. So at the same time, we started to work on Christian Spock's Léonce and Lena. And I was doing the role as the tutor, a great role. It was in like the jazz character shoes, and it wasn't classical, but it was classical. It was kind of parody on classical, but very serious. And it was somewhat of a character role as well, and it just fit. We also auditioned for Stefan Toss's Searching for Home. And this was my aha, you could say, my breakthrough in my career. I had done main roles before, but nothing like this. And I guess it was my main role as a contemporary dancer, or neoclassical, as you wish to see it. But it was so amazing. This piece, it's everybody's search for themselves and the different facets of ourselves and how to be with all of us within one person. Well, my bucket of roles is quite full with Les Grandes. I'm very grateful for all the many opportunities that I was given throughout the years. I can talk about Kathy Marston's Lady Chatterley when we worked on Mrs. Bolton. That was also a brilliant role, and getting to work with her, working in a different style, it really was quite poignant in my career as well. Learned so much about how to just be still, but still say something with your body, or with a simple glance or a gesture. I did the Green Fairy in Matt Sachs' Sleeping Beauty, and I loved taking on that role. She was feisty, she was fearless, and it was everything that I was. And you move big and long, and it's Matt Sachs' version of Sleeping Beauty was just so distorted and warped and intriguing and very interesting to portray and to tell. The best performances are always in the studio. I loved to rehearse and to really deep dive into the role, any role, little, big, whatever, everything in the studio for me was just beautiful to do. Sometimes you go on stage and it never feels the same. There's always other things. The lights are too bright, or the wing is in my way, or something. So the best performances were always really for me in the studio. One person who was extremely important in my career here was Stefan Toss. And for me, he was just pure inspiration and passion. And every movement he created always had a meaning. The step and the meaning always related with the music. I also worked with Ohad Naharin, which was incredible and so eye-opening as well, because it was a different way of moving with your body and understanding his technique of Gaga and really how to get into the groove of things. I mean, there's Pierre Lapointe too. I mean, he was the glue that binded the company for so many years. When he was in the studio, you knew you had to work, and you knew it was serious, but it was fun, and it was just pure enjoyment, and I really miss him. Dance for me is moving with your heart, moving with your soul. For me, nothing is fake. Everything is real. And that for me is the art. We create sculptures with our bodies. We train technically to be able to do something effortlessly, so you don't see the thought behind the movement, because if you do, then you still need to go back and rehearse. It's so important to take the meaning, the idea of whatever the ballet is. It can be very simple, but as long as it's done with the heart, the pureness comes out, and I hope that that translates to the audience and somehow moves the audience. And dance is all about saying things that sometimes are so difficult to say, that are easier said without words. My hopes for the future of the dancers of the new generation is to remember why you danced. What got you here? What was that first impulse to dance? What was the first meaning? Because especially in classical ballet, we get so stuck on oh, the way I look, is my arabesque high enough? Is this, is that, my foot, how does it look? To become a very hard and cynical dancer. And I think it's really important to remember what it was that got you here. What was that feeling? That joy, because really it comes from joy. So when you do get, and I'm talking to the next generation, when you do get stuck or really upset at yourself, it's just dance and do what you love.